We tend to talk about, when we talk about immigration, the small boats, those people arriving here in the most desperate of circumstances. That made up 3% of immigration to the UK last year. I'm going to say it one more time, 3%. Now, when we talk about immigration, I think we talk about it slightly disproportionately focused on these small boats. It's a really tiny number of people, proportionately speaking. And they are not illegal immigrants. It is clearly protected under British law to enter the country for the purpose of seeking asylum. The fact that they enter through irregular means is simply because we do not provide any regular means. And this is where I take issue with the conversation that I've just been hearing, because we haven't heard anything at all, apparently, about the needs these people actually have, the dangers they have actually fled, and the fact that they have the right to seek protection because they are coming from places where they're in danger. I think there's been a terrifying lack of humanity when we're talking about trying to redefine what is safe. If you were talking about your own family members or your own children who are fleeing those countries, I don't think you'd take the same attitude to the callous need to redefine what safety means. I think what often gets left out of this conversation is, well, a dose of reality on the one hand, but also the simple fact that it's good, that the UK should be really proud that we can be a place where we protect people who are fleeing from danger. I'm sure many of your listeners will have seen over the last weeks the images and footage of emaciated people emerging for the first time in decades into the sunlight after being liberated from underground torture cells that were being run by the Assad regime in Syria. Everybody who came here to this country from Syria, we were able to protect from that fate. We need to recognize that it is good and right that people should escape that kind of thing. And it is because we offer, not just ourselves, but all of Europe, all of the safe and rich and wealthy countries in the world do not offer any safe way for people to travel to escape that kind of thing. There is no safe way to escape from Iran. There is no safe way to escape from Syria. There is an extremely limited and inadequate safe way to escape from Afghanistan. These are the most dangerous countries in the world. That is why people take irregular routes, and punishing them for that is totally unacceptable. And I would like to just come back also to the Italian journalist that we heard from before, who was singing the praises of the Italian government for making deals with Libya and Tunisia. Let's just talk a little bit about the facts, what we know those deals with Tunisia and Libya entail. Those detention centers that they were touting in Libya are known for being slave markets where people are tortured and held for ransom so that they call up their relatives and make their relatives listen to them being tortured and force them to send a ransom. That is the standard procedure. Libya is a failed state where evil militias are carrying out this torture on the refugees that Italy is paying to be returned there. And in Tunisia, the exact same deal that the Italians made with the Tunisian government then used that money to go and round up any black person they could find in their cities, drive them into the middle of the desert and dump them there. And that has happened to dozens and dozens of men, women and children. They've been dumped in the desert and they've died. And we have seen images of their bodies. So let us not talk about these deals as though they were something that we should ever look to. These are shameful. They are morally depraved ways to behave.
So we thank you for being with us tonight. We'll come back to the panel.